The CEO of your company has a fiduciary duty. That means a legal obligation to make one person rich. Do you want to guess who? It's not the customers that are buying products from your company. It's not you or the other employees that are working in the company. And it's not the other executives or directors that are working in the company. The CEO has a fiduciary duty, meaning a legal obligation to the shareholders of your company. That is the owners of the company. It is their goal to make these people rich. That means that this person is directing these people, your employees and the executives in the company, to create products that customers want to buy, which will ultimately make the shareholders rich. The CEO is leading the employees and the executives to get money out of customers to benefit the shareholders. But let me actually demonstrate why it's so important for you to understand this. Let's assume that a hypothetical company RGOY, random guy on YouTube, makes $1 million a year in revenue. Now, of course, revenue isn't profit. This company, RGOY, has expenses to operate. Let's assume that there are $300,000 a year in expenses and costs to run the business, and you are an employee at company RGOY. How much fun is that going to be? Well, now you have a salary, you have an expense, because you want to sell your time to the company. You're working in this company, and that salary is a $75,000 expense to the company. You obviously need that salary to justify you working there, but it's an expense for the company. And now you want to raise because you've been working so hard at this company, and you believe that you deserve $100,000 a year because life is more expensive and everything else. So you want $100,000 a year. Well, if you want to go from $75,000 a year to $100,000 a year, that's an additional $25,000 expense for your raise, which means in order for the company to justify paying this additional expense, they're going to need to make more money off of you. Because remember, the CEO who's looking at this is going to say, we are looking at a profit. Because the owners of the company get paid through profit. The owners of the company don't get paid through salary, they get paid through their ownership in the company. And the way you get paid through ownership is through profit. And so if the CEO of the company is running through the expenses, the owners are going to want to see a growth in profit. And to justify paying you an additional $25,000 a year, the CEO might say, we need to increase revenue by $50,000 a year. At this point, you might say, well, that all makes sense, Jaspreet, but how does this actually apply to me? How do I build wealth and get rich? Well, there's a few things you need to understand. That way you can actually build wealth in this economic system and use this system to your advantage. Number one is more of a reality check. You own nothing as an employee. If the company finds a better employee than you, you will be fired and you will get nothing. Maybe you get a nice severance check, but you get nothing out of the profits of a company. If you break your leg and you can't go into work anymore, your company will get rid of you and find a different employee. Or if your CEO runs the company into the ground and the company goes bankrupt, you will lose your job and get nothing, minus maybe a severance check if you get that. Number two is salaries are generally capped. Unless you're on some sort of performance pay or commission pay, there's a limit to how much money you're gonna make. So if you make $75,000 a year and you make, let's call it $150,000 a year of revenue for the company, it doesn't matter if you're able to take that to $2 million of additional revenue a year. That additional money is going to profit, and there'll be a cap on how much money you make. So salaries are capped, but there's no cap to how much profits that you can make as the owner. And this brings us to number three, and the most important part for you to understand, which is that profits go to the owners. This profit doesn't go to the CEO, it doesn't go to the employees, it doesn't go to the customers, it goes to the owners of a company. But here's the catch. Anybody can be an owner. Customers can be an employee at the company. Employees can be owners of a company. The CEO and the executives can be owner of a company. The owners could be a random person sitting on a beach. Anybody can be an owner and take advantage of this when you understand the game. And this is where I want you to listen to me very carefully. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to be an employee. I am an employee at my own company. I created Briefs Media. I'm the CEO of Briefs Media. I'm an employee at the company. But as the owner of the company, I am entitled to the profits. I want you to understand that it's not bad to be an employee, but to understand the way you build wealth is not through your salary alone. It's through turning the salary that you're getting, which is an expense at the company, and turning it into an asset by turning your salary into ownership. If you enjoyed this clip and you want to continue your financial education journey, I have another video that I think you'll love. All you got to do is click that button right over there. And for those of you who want to stay up to date on the top finance and business news, you can join Market Briefs, my free financial newsletter, by clicking that button below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.